Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkandbutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making video. Today it's Inspire Create Challenge day, and our theme for this challenge is circles. So we're all making things with a circles theme, and I've opted to do something really simple with a die cut background and just a simple sentiment from Simply Said, which is one of my go-to sentiment sets at the moment. So you've seen me use this a lot. I also love the tags of thanks as well. So really lovely little set. And because it's a fun background, we're using the Let's Celebrate, but there's a few that you could use. It's quite a generic design, so it could be a thank you or anything like that. So I opted for something that was a strip, just to not cover the background too much. So like I say, this is the Inspire Create Challenge. You can participate in the challenge as well. Just hop over to the challenge blog. The link is in the description. Please do like, subscribe, all that jazz, share with your friends, have a little bit of a challenge between yourselves, and over on the blog you'll see lots of inspiration from the rest of the design team members. So without further ado, let's get cracking. It's not a overly complicated card, but you know, just walk you through what I was doing. So this is a smoky slate background, and as you can see there's a mixture of white and coloured dots. These all happen to be from the Brights collection, so there's a total of 10 coloured dots with 10 white dots to snake through that rainbow there. So that's what I've got, and of course you don't have to stick to a colour family. You could have done it monochromatic, you do shades of different colours and whatever. So you know, the world's your lobster in terms of that, and I've done it 5x4, but you know, you could do all sorts of different layouts, make it narrower, shorter, whatever. So it's yours to play with, but we'll crack on with the idea. So just to switch it up, because I like to switch it up, we've got Baby Boss to work with, but we're going to use Basic Beige as the base, and we're using the subtles. And as you can see, I've pulled out scrap cardstock in all of those colours, the exception being Bubble Bath, which is actually a coloured piece of white cardstock with a stamping blend. So if you're short on a colour, or you want to do something different, don't forget you can colour white cardstock as well to achieve this. So of course I've done all the white ones already, so we're just going to die cut all the coloured ones. And I'm using the smallest die from Stylish Shapes. Okay, so it's this one here. If you've got a punch, and obviously this has stitch detail on it, which is a cute feature, but if you just wanted dots and you have a punch, the die is approximately 3/4 of an inch, a bit bigger than 3/4 of an inch. You could use a punch to do this, so options galore really. The mini cut and emboss is going to be perfect for this, just for quickly running these pieces of cardstock through. So like I say, it's just little scraps that I've had that I'd saved. So one of my lovely crafty friends, sadly she's not with us anymore, but she used to giggle at me for keeping all these little scraps. But this is exactly the kind of project that these kinds of things are absolutely ideal for. So you know, it's got to get what we can out of our beautiful products and use them to the max. So I do like to hold on to them. Those of you who've watched before will know that I use A6 or 6x4 whatever they are, photo boxes to keep my scraps in, and I store them in their colour families, just labelled up with a permanent marker so that everything's all together. And I'll tell you what, the other really great thing is the two-tone cardstock. That would be cool as well if you wanted to do some of these and kind of use the light and the dark side of the colours. That would be nice as well. So lots of options, and obviously the colour families, you've got sort of rainbow-ish kind of colours ranging all the way through, from the reds, you've got greens, blues, etc. So the Regals have got loads of greens. So you'd have garden green, old olive, shaded spruce, and the subtles are quite a nice little array, as are the brights. So it kind of depends what you're looking for. I'll tell you what, actually, it'd be a great little Christmas background, and you could make them all look like little baubles. That'd be cute. Shades of red and green. Might do that. Now there's another idea for you. Okay, so it doesn't take long to run these through at all. I'm sure some of you might have zipped through and saved my jibber jabber. Oh, one other thing to tell you about is that there's going to be a promotion for some of the in colour cardstock, so you could use the in colours as well. There's 10 of those in total, and mix those together. They form a nice rainbow as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Oh, this one's going to be tight, but I think it's just about big enough. And that's the last one. That's Calypso Coral. Yep, there we go, perfect. Right, that's 10 of them all done. So we can pop away our mini cutting emboss. So, oh, he lives over there. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that I've used up those little tiny scraps, so those are going in the recycling. Okay, so I've got all of those ready to go. Aren't they pretty? Don't they look nice together? Okay, let's put them in the order I'm going to use them. So we're going to go through. So Richard of York gave battle in vain. There we go. Right. Pre-cut card base in basic beige, and I've got a piece of, this is the two-tone cardstock. I think this is 3.5 by 5.25. Yep. Okay. And then this is also some of the cardstock in black. Obviously it's not two-tone because it's black on both sides, but it's the black version of that cardstock. So we can, I think I'm going to layer this up now, just so that it's easier to manipulate later. So we'll just use some Stampin' Seal to do that. And I'm going to work on the dark side of this cardstock today, because I want it to tone in with the card base. So this cardstock is less bulky, so you get these nice delicate layers. And what I've done is I've already marked the centre. I just measured it and just marked the centre just so that I know where to start with my design, and then we can work that out afterwards. And so we've already got some of the white dots over here, so I'll just pop those across here so that they're in reach. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start in the middle. So let's do let's work out where we're going with this. Should have laid these out with the yeah, we start with white and then yellow, white, yellow, green, white, greeny blue, white, blue. Oh, there we go. Just so that I can pick them up in the right order, and I know where the middle line is. The middle line's actually that one with the Lost Lagoon and the pool party. Okay, so that's where we're going to start so that we know where we're going with it. Am I still in? Yep, just making sure that you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue for this, so that we've got a little bit of breathing space with the positioning. So you want to get this first row down, and then the rest should hopefully sort themselves out. So I'm just lining that up on those, using that sort of cross in the middle to help me out. I want them touching, and then should be about 1/8 of an inch of a border either side, which is about right. And then you can use like a T-square ruler just to see if that's straight, and that looks pretty good. Okay, right, so I'm happy that I've got my first row in, and then we just build from there. Okay, so take each row at the top at a time, bit of glue, not too much. You don't want it sort of seeping out, and the thinner it is, the less time it will take to dry. So just flip those over, get them roughly right, and then we can make sure that they're positioned before the glue dries. Make sure we're happy with that. There we go. We'll do our next ones. Ooh. Don't know what I was thinking then. Put way too much glue on that one. Never mind. So we just build this up gradually. So whiz through if you want, and skip ahead. It was real fun. It's quite a quick card that comes together. Once you've got all the pieces done, that's the time-consuming bit. But you know, once that's done, those colours look nice, don't they? Okay, so obviously using the circles today for the theme, but I guess this would work with any of those smaller dies, or you know, the squares. You'd get like a excuse me, checkerboard excuse me kind of look. but with a square you could also make them in a diamond orientation. That's something else to try. Might have a bit of an experiment with some of those ideas. So touching but not overlapping. It's kind of, just want to make sure that those don't start edging underneath the layer you've already put down. There we go. Just make sure that, so if you've got that edge one right, you know that your middle ones are going to squish together right. Okay, there we go. And my top tip for, you know, making sure things are nice and dry and flat and everything is to use a block, just to help you with that. Okay, so just applying a bit of even pressure over there, just to make sure that that's nice and set. And we're going to step this up a little bit by using, where's my lid for this? There it is. By using a second layer. I know you're thinking, oh my goodness, Verity, what about all these dots? But we're gonna cut. I've already cut out all of these. We'll take off all these backings and we're going to layer these up. So we're adding some fun dimension to this as well. Totally optional. You could leave it flat, and of course in some countries, if you've got a lot of bulk in your cards, it does add to the postage. So, you know, it might be one to hand deliver, or you can skip it altogether. But we're just gonna pop those over the top. It doesn't matter what order you do it in. You could mix and match it and have some flat and some not, or pop the white ones instead. But I thought, rather than it's harder to line them up if you're trying to sort of make those floating without something underneath. So I think it's worth the effort cutting them twice. I suppose you could have used white all over and then put the coloured dots on top, but when you're looking at this at an angle, it's quite nice to see that matching colour underneath. I think it's cute. Okay, so that's added a whole other level, quite literally, to that. And the other thing I'm going to do to step this up is add some Wink of Stella. Okay, so this is just going to make those sparkle a bit. If you've got something like Stampin' Up used to sell like I want to call it Crystal Effects. Was that what it was called? Maybe. So you could add like a glaze to these. You can achieve something similar with clear embossing powder as well. So you could smush some Versamark over those and then heat emboss them. So now they've also got some shimmer. How awesome is that? And again, just doing it on the coloured ones. That is so fun. So you've got a bit of glitz on there as well. You can see it on the Highland Heather there. Okay, right, I think before we go any further, I'm going to pop this onto the card base. Probably should have done that already, in fairness. So pop that on, and I want my reds and pinks at the top. And there we go. Lovely. And then just to finish off, we need our sentiments. So again, scraps. This is just the offcut from cutting the layer of the basic beige. This is just another piece that I've got left over from cutting down card bases or something. I don't know, some kind of layers. So we'll ink up our sentiment with the tuxedo black memento. Okay, and we'll pop that away. So just going to cut this just at a jaunty angle basically. Okay, so not going to fuss too much with measuring it or getting it even or anything. Then we'll use a little bit of that, add it to this strip, and then we can just use, I haven't stamped that terribly well, but when you're on a video you're trying to get things done reasonably quickly. Okay, so we'll just trim that down so that we've got an even border there. And because we've got all these raised elements, I'm just going to put some dabs of glue on those three raised circles. So on the bottom of that one and the top of that one. Which will be more than enough to secure it. The multi-purpose glue is really strong. So that will be fine once it's set. And of course you could stick a block over the top of that and give that plenty of time to set. And then we just need to add some embellies, because no card is finished without some sparkle and bling. So let's just add some of those. Our mixture of sizes here, which is fundamentally keeping them to the white ones for no particular reason other than that they stand out a little bit more, really. There we go. Right, that's it. After waffle, this is basic beige with the subtles, bit of dimension and a bit of sparkle. And then we've got smoky slate with the brights, keeping it flat this time. Easier to post, all that kind of thing. Okay, you could even stick the sentiment flat if you really wanted to minimize any bulk at all. Okay, so that is it for today, my friends. This is the Inspire Create challenge. Our theme is circles. I'd love to see what you make. Do pop along to the blog. Links are all in the description where you can enter your design. Okay, so that's it from me. Thanks ever so much for sticking with it. Do stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.